In this week's video, we will be having a look at 5 young Formula One drivers, who could potentially impress this season and become future stars. Their performances in the previous seasons will also be included. The 2020 championship is due to start this Saturday. The order of the drivers in the video are completely random and not ranked. The likes of Max Verstappen, Carlos Sainz Jr. and Charles Leclerc will not be included in the following video since they have already showed their potential in a young age, and are stars already. George Russell, the 2018 FIA Formula 2 champion, joined Williams last season from ART Grand Prix, for a 3-year deal, after the impressive performances in Barcelona and France. He is a player with great promise and potential. The performances in the Williams car were inadequate in the past season, though the fault was majorly on the car in 2019, which was moving like a truck, and abysmal compared to other cars. Experts stated that the Williams team were unable to adapt to changes in parts, engines and, ergo, Russell did not finish in the top 10 positions, even in a single Grand Prix last year. However, the young British driver has not failed to amaze and proved all the odds wrong in the eSports Virtual Grand Prix, and won 4 of them successively. George Russell's car has been performing well in the test drives. This could be an indicator that the young driver could have a much better season in the car. Even if it seems far-fetched, after the last season, he could possibly contract overt the odds and could prevent Williams from finishing rock bottom, unlike the previous 2 years. A better finish in the table would mean that Russell could attract other teams. Possibly Mercedes, even if it seems dubious at the moment with both Mercedes drivers in red-hot form. Lando Norris started his Formula career competing with Carlin for the European Formula 3 Championship, where he came runner-up. He continued his partnership with Carlin for the Formula 2 Championship, where he also came runner-up to fellow Brit George Russell. Lando Norris was assigned junior driver for McLaren in early 2017 and later that year became McLaren's official test and reserve driver. 2019 proved to be his breakout season, where he was assigned the role of a full-time driver with an unproven McLaren. He was partnered with Carlos Sainz Jr. They had an instant chemistry between them which proved to be vital to the team. Although the McLaren car was much improved as to the year before, Norris still became victim to 4 retirements. McLaren had their best year in recent times, finishing 4th in the Constructors' Championship, with Carlos Sainz Jr. and Lando Norris getting 6th and 11th in the Drivers' Championship respectively. With the beginning of a new season, Lando Norris had a couple of good performances, by getting 2 P6 finishes at Bahrain and Austria. McLaren's car looks and performs better than last year, with the team aiming for a spot within the top 3. For the 2021 season, however, Carlos will not be sticking around with Lando anymore. As for him, he secured himself the role of supporting driver for the Prancing Horses. Although a great partnership would be broken, Daniel Ricciardo is set to join McLaren, and fans are waiting to see what would be the chemistry between the two. Pierre Gasly was signed to Toro Rosso at 2017 as a replacement driver for Daniel Kvyat. Although Gasly raced only 5 races in 2017 and finished all of them outside the points, Toro Rosso felt that he would be suitable for them, and offered him a role as permanent driver from the 2018 season, partnering with Brendan Hartley. Gasly had finished his first full season in F1 scoring 33 points, with impressive performances finishing P4 at Bahrain and P6 at Hungary. As for the 2019 season, Daniel Ricciardo had planned to leave Red Bull Racing to join Renault F1 instead. Red Bull had to make a decision fast and offered the seat to Pierre. This proved to be an unwise and hasty decision, as Gasly had no experience whatsoever and could not cope up with the expectations built on him. This led to Red Bull replacing him mid-season with rookie Albon. Gasly got demoted back to Toro Rosso, where he was partnered with Daniel Kvyat. This made him feel much more comfortable, scoring his first podium in F1 at the Brazil Grand Prix and finishing the year in 7th place in the drivers' standings. Overall, He put up some impressive performances which included the P2 finish at Brazil, P4 at Silverstone and a P5 finish at Monaco. If he performs in the junior Red Bull side this season, he could possibly go to a bigger team in 2021. Alexander Albon signed for Toro Rosso for the first half of the season. It is now called Scuderia AlphaTauri. After a phenomenal season, and third-place finish in the Drivers' Championship, in the 2018 F2 Championship, he got released from the team within a month, and signed for Toro Rosso to drive in F1. He got off a superb start, as he finished 9th in his second ever F1 race and get his first points in the championship. In China he had another notable performance, as he completed inside the points, despite starting from the back of the grid. His best race for the junior Red Bull team came, in a dramatic rain-filled German Grand Prix in which, he manipulated the car skillfully and finished in a staggering 6th place finish. After astonishing performances for the junior side, he got promoted to Red Bull Racing, to replace Pierre Gasly, who failed to deliver the goods at Red Bull in his spell. Albon rewarded his team's faith, on his debut race out with a 5th place in Belgium, later followed by his run of 6 top 6 finishes in Italy, Hungary, Singapore, Russia, Japan, and the United States. The Thai British driver had a career-best 4th place finish in Japan. In Brazil, the 24-year-old was on course to finish 2nd, and get his first podium in F1, though it was short-lived after a woeful overtaking attempt from the 6-time champion Hamilton, caused a collision and ended Albon's podium hopes. The young driver finished in the 8th position, with 93 points in the Drivers' Championship, just 3 points behind his rival Gasly. After a glorious second half of the season with Red Bull, he was awarded a contract extension, to continue racing for the team alongside Max Verstappen. He is expected to finish at least in the top 6 in the Drivers' Championship in 2020 after a prolific debut F1 year. Nicholas Latifi raced for DAMS in the 2019 F2 Championship and took the runner-up spot in the Drivers' Championship. He was also Williams' reserve driver. After Robert Kubica's departure, Latifi has been promoted to take the empty Williams spot in the 2020 F1 season. Following Stroll's footsteps, Latifi will be making his F1 debut for Williams in 2020 under the American license. Both drivers hail from Canada and rich parents. The Iranian-Canadian won the opening feature race in Bahrain from 4th on the grid. His top-notch form continued as he triumphed in the sprint race at Baku and the feature race in Spain, which meant Nicholas had won 3 of the first 5 races. The 24-year scored his 4th and final victory at the feature race in Hungary and finished runner-up in the Drivers' Championship in his 3rd F3 championship. Latifi is to partner alongside Russell to aid Williams this year after a lamentable 2019. The young driver could showcase his talents in the upgraded Williams car and help Williams climb up the table, unlike the previous year. The young duo have the potential to be future stars, and this might be a season could be the one where they. Williams had an amazing pre-season to cover up last year's misery. The rookie recruit was successive in the pre-season as Nicholas Latifi and George Russell more than 100 laps on 5 of the 6 days, which is a good sign for the British Formula One motor racing team.